American Jewish population continues to grow every year, with more than 500,000 people identifying as Jewish in South Florida. Mike Teichberg is the director of the Jewish National Fund USA and is here to talk about the latest efforts to support the community. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mike, for those of us who are not as familiar, talk to us about the overall mission of Jewish National Fund USA.
Yeah, so Jewish National Fund USA was founded way back in 1901. This was the nonprofit organization that originally acquired land from the Ottoman Empire that would later become Israel in 1948. We did this by planting trees for generations in memory and honoring loved ones, and then transitioned to water conservation, enabling Israel to become the #1 nation in the world for water recycling, almost 90% of its water supply today. And so the mission of the organization today, years later, is now to further develop the country. And that's developing the periphery, the north and south of the country, building new communities, since most of that has been sparsely populated in the past.
So I know that you are, or your organization is involved in so many different areas, including what you just mentioned, forestry, water sourcing, heritage projects, but you're also focused on tech startups. And I'd like for you to talk to us about that area and those programs.
Sure. So part of the economic development that we're doing, Israel in the south, the city of Beersheba has become the global capital for cybersecurity. There's a lot going on in agricultural and food technology. And so as part of our overall $1 billion roadmap, that's right, we're raising $1 billion in the US over 10 years to fund all of our infrastructure and community building projects. And a big part of it is that 90% of young people live in the major cities. And so to really strengthen and secure the country long term, we want to build out the communities in the north and south, the Negev and the Galilee. And so a big part of what we're doing is supporting startups through the Lauder Employment Center, which is one of our affiliates, and supporting new businesses. We also support tourism and immigration to the country. And so as new people are coming from North America to become Israeli citizens, we want to make sure that they have the tools that they need in order to grow their businesses once they arrive in the country.
Okay, and so kind of going deeper into that, I'd like to ask you about your other goal, which is to connect people in Miami-Dade, and I would probably think other areas of South Florida, as well, to that Israeli community. How are you achieving this goal?
Yeah, so really the mission of the organization is threefold. One is to fundraise to support the development projects that we're building and, the affiliate programs that we partner with. The second piece is connecting Americans to Israel, and that's people of all faiths and backgrounds. So I'm personally responsible for the campaign here in Miami-Dade County. And so given, the makeup of the population here, we want to involve Latinos. I'm from Puerto Rico, Cuban exile, Jewish community. And so we're doing a lot to start off with Spanish language programming. We're starting to partner with more interfaith organizations to connect people, both through virtual tours now and a lot of innovative programs, as well as, pre-pandemic, we were running about 30 trips a year to Israel. The third piece of the mission is engaging locally. And so we have different professional affinity groups, as we call them. So we have doctors for Israel, lawyers for Israel. During the pandemic, we launched a real estate society, right? And so real estate is such a large industry in Miami, and a lot of the work that we're doing in Israel is building infrastructure. So it made a lot of sense to go in that direction. And then to go back to what you were asking about connecting tech, well, right now, there's a huge moment in Miami with Mayor Francis Suarez promoting the tech scene, and a lot of founders, investors, and startups are moving here. So we're going to be launching this society connecting the South Florida tech scene to Israel as well.
Wow, thank you so much. It sounds like you are very busy over there, and we thank you for your time. It was a pleasure speaking to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Today's newsmaker is Mike Teichberg. I'm Nathalia Ortiz. Thank you for joining us.